Hey, what's up guys, I'm Anexonel, and in this video I'll be unboxing the Oukitel K4000 Pro V2, so now let's get at it. This video is sponsored by gearbest.com, so if you want to buy this phone, head over to the link down below. Okay, so if we take a look at this orange box, you can see that it says Oukitel as well as the model of this device. You also have the IMEI number, and on the right side you also have the color, and this phone is the white version. And on the other side it just says Oukitel as well as on the top. And if you take a look at the back, you can see that you actually also have the name of the model of the device as well as the version it runs. So Android 5.1 Lollipop. It has 16 gig of ROM and 2 gig of RAM, and you can also see the rest of the specs, like on what network it should work, and also has a pretty big battery of 4600 milliamp hour. So now let's go ahead and open up the box. So as you can see, the first thing we get is the phone, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put it aside for now, and we'll take a look at what's inside of the box, just underneath of the phone. So as you can see, we have this regular Android USB charger. And next up we have the user manual, but just like usual we don't really need it, so I'll just put it aside for now. But by taking a quick glance at it, you can see that it is in fact in English at least. And you also have this warranty card, but I don't really think you need it because this is just for the manufacturer. But I do believe that GearBest does provide a 1-year warranty at the least, at least a couple weeks warranty on the accessories. And you also have this wall charger adapter, but it actually doesn't come from my country, but I do believe that they will send you the appropriate one for your country depending if you are in the United States or not. And now as I take the phone out of this plastic thing, you can see that in my opinion, as like my first opinion, this phone is pretty big. I do remember which is what last one I had that was as big as this. It is pretty thick, but in fact it is because you have a pretty big battery, which is about 4600 milliamp if I do recall correctly, and that's pretty nice. So it should last you like just over a day, maybe even 2, depending on how much you use it. As you can see on the front, you have your regular items as well as a front camera. And what's weird of this phone, at least I feel like it is that you have the USB charger as well as the earphone jack right next to each other on the top. On this side you have the 2 volume buttons, so I have to get used to it. So because the last phones I had, the power button was in this place. At the bottom you just have the microphone. Sorry, you don't have the charger, which is where I'd put it personally. That's where I put the charging part. The back you have the camera and the LED flash, and you also have the speaker. So you only have one speaker at the back, so it could be muffled if you have the phone laying on the ground. So I'll just go ahead and remove the case because based on the videos that I've seen from the company, this phone should be pretty sturdy because they hammered some nails into a piece of wood. I'm not too sure if the video is pretty accurate or not. I haven't seen anyone else doing that. So if you want me to test it out, I'll maybe take a look and try to test it out. And before you open up the device, you do have to open the back of it because the battery is sealed for shipping purposes. So as you can see, just have to remove this little sticker and then put back the battery in place, and it should be good to go. And you can also see that you can put in an extra micro SD card. I believe you can put one up to 64 gig, and this phone is also dual SIM, so you can have a regular size SIM card as well as a micro SIM card. So now let's finally go ahead and boot up the device for the first time. Alright, so it just took about just over 20 seconds for the phone to fully boot up. And just to tell you guys again, to recall the specs, this phone does run on the old MTK6735 processor. So if I do recall, this processor is still in fact a couple of years old, but it still runs pretty fast. A couple of like iPhone clones still run on that processor, so it isn't that bad. But because this phone does run stock Android, you shouldn't see as much lag as you see on this than you do see on clones. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, it does run on the MT6735 processor, so for sure this device won't be too slow, but it definitely won't be as fast as some of the newest devices we have now. But this is in fact a budget phone. So it costs about just under $100 US, so that isn't too bad, and it's way better than the Moto G, which I believe used to retail for just over $200 US, or that was maybe 200 Canadian dollars. So I'd go ahead for this Chinese phone depending on which situation you are. But there are in fact a bunch of other budget phones that I'm not an expert can really recommend, but in my opinion this phone isn't too bad. And if you're looking for a phone that's budget friendly and that has a pretty big battery, I'd go ahead with this one. And just like a bunch of other Android devices, you do have some motions like this, so when you just like land your phone after a phone call, it would automatically just cancel the call or stop the call. I just think that's a bit too cheesy, so that's not something I'd use. And you also have the gesture motion, so you can swipe through the pages, but it doesn't work that good, so it's again something that I won't be using. Alright, so if we take a look at the camera, it is for sure not the best based on 2016 standards, but for the price of the phone, which is about $100 US, again, it isn't that bad. And this is the front facing one, which also isn't that bad for a front facing camera on a phone of this price. Alright, so I guess that this is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you're interested in this device, I'll have an affiliate link down below, because this video is again sponsored by gearbest.com that were nice enough to send me this device for review. And yeah, just as my first impressions, for a budget phone that's $100 isn't that bad. Maybe you have some better phones. I'm not sure. It's something to check out and to compare by looking at different unboxings and review. So if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, give this video a thumbs up, and for sure hit the subscribe button so you can be the first one to be notified as soon as I release a new video. Also, don't forget to join the notification squad by enabling notifications for my video. So again, I guess that this is it. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace.